Allegories of Manhattan and Brooklyn by Daniel Chester French.
In 1883, the Brooklyn Bridge was completed and sparked the beginning of a new era. It led to the connection of both Brooklyn and Manhattan as the Manhattan Bridge was constructed in 1911. The Manhattan Bridge was built to accommodate trains. The art during this period was meant to show the wealth and prosperity that existed. Daniel Chester French was chosen to carve two statues to represent Brooklyn and Manhattan. Both of these statues became popular historic representations of the Brooklyn and Manhattan boroughs.
After the Manhattan Bridge was built, the architects wanted to add statues to the art pylons. What do you think made them want to do this? Was this show the symbolism that the bridges represented? In 1915, the Statue of Manhattan was completed in Brooklyn on March 1st. Both of these statues were placed on the art pylons. The French built these statues to represent its surroundings.
Now take a look at Manhattan and note her body language. As you can see, she's sitting up straight with her head high. What kind of energy is she giving off? The way she represents herself can be described as a woman of strength and perseverance. Notice her foot placed on top of a box. This appears to represent a safe with money. If you think about it, Manhattan is associated with money and finance. A few things were changed to the statue when it was presented to the art commission. An art commission buys a piece of art most often on behalf of another. Why do you think changes were made to the statue? Some of these changes include the 3 ship rows behind Manhattan. These were replaced by a skyscraper. If you look at her face, it was once more simple and had less detail than it does today. Now turn your attention to her hand. The winged globe suggests power. The crown on her head represents defense.
At this time, walk over to the Statue of Brooklyn and take some photos. Make sure these are at an angle so you can compare them to Manhattan. Looking at Brooklyn, her pose is very relaxed and welcoming. Briefly look at the plaque she's holding up. What do you think this symbolizes? It seems to be a barrier as a sign of defense. The peacock on her left is a symbol of pride. The church on the side expresses the growth and importance of religion. It was modified after its original construction.
Both of these statues are 12 feet high and are worth over $9,000 each. After being placed on the pylons on the Manhattan Bridge, changes needed to be made. In 1963, traffic grew and the statues had to be removed in order to create space for traffic. Brooklyn and Manhattan were moved to the front of the Brooklyn Museum by the Eastern Parkway. Both statues were placed on 2 granite blocks.
Some other civic sculptures by the French include the monument of Marquis de Lafayette located in Prospect Park. He was a military officer and a diplomat during the American Revolution. Another piece of work by the French includes Richard Morris Hunt Memorial located in Central Park. This memorial was dedicated to Hunt because of his well-known architectural pieces.
Daniel Chester Hunt was very well known and admired for all of his art pieces. Both Brooklyn and Manhattan are seen to be great examples of what each borough represents.